Hello. Good day, everybody. Depending on where you are here, watching this video from, it's so good to be here once again. Like we normally do on this channel, we look at the market, we look at what the markets, did last week, and we also try to project what the market is likely to do in the coming week. Like I always say on this channel, we are not trying to predict the markets, and we can't predict the markets. The only thing we can do is to just follow the trend, like I love to say on this channel. So having said that, like we always do, we start with DXY. The DXY, we saw the DXY last week. Remember last week I said we are likely to continue that downtrend. That's why I still have my trend line, my weekly time frame. And then we actually broke, we had a little pullback at the beginning of the week. Then we broke this support. There's a support here that price broke around 102, and it's looking like we will continue to push to the downside. And don't forget, we already broke into this zone. And like I always say, price move from zone to zone. So I expect that, pressure to keep to the downside. And also looking at inflation, the way inflation has been in the United States. And don't forget the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, last week spoke about the fact that it's likely that the United States, the Fed will start cutting interest rates, and there's a lot of speculation going around in the market that interest rates by next year, there'll be the Fed will start cutting interest rates, and that actually has trigger a sell-off on the dollar, because each time the Fed cut interest rates, what normally happens is that the dollars, weaken, it weakens the dollar, all right? So I would have said that. So let's check what gold has been doing also. That information that was here last week by the Fed chairman actually trigger, a buy for gold. If you remember last week, since 2 weeks ago, I've been in a sell after this massive price rejection. I started taking sell around there, and I rode that. I was expecting price to push down all the way, but after that news, so what I did was I trade my profit. For those in my Telegram group and the WhatsApp group, because I think I updated the trade yesterday. I actually trade that profit, and I came out, uh profitable, well profitable, because I jumped on that trade as soon as I saw this massive rejection. And right now, what gold is doing right now, because of that information, like I said, the fact that the Fed will start cutting interest rate by next year, the market is actually anticipating for a weak dollar. So I'll be careful selling gold. As you can see, we seems to on the weekly time frame, it's looking like gold might start pushing to the up, start pushing back to the upside. As long as this support in the interim is not taken out, all right, I'll actually be looking for buying opportunity. But for now, till the rest of this year, I'll actually be staying out of gold, you know. But gold is looking, as bullish already, because don't forget that what we have here is actually a pullback. What we have is actually this reversal is actually a pullback. It's actually a significant pullback, because gold has ever hit 2,150, and so we have a very significant pullback from here. As much as, like I said, I'll be staying away from gold until I see a very clear direction, because the way is until you see I see a take out of this huge resistance around there before I can say the buy for gold will continue. But the way it's looking right now, we might also, continue to the downside if this support is taken out. The support at 1,972 is actually taken out. So right now, I'll be staying out of gold. Gold can be very, very erratic. So let's check what Bitcoin is doing. Now, I think if you're in my crypto group on WhatsApp, on the paid group, I've been dropping this chart. You should be familiar with this chart, because I mentioned that as long as 44,000 remain, you can see that price seems to have stalled around there for Bitcoin, around 44,000. Okay, although I'm still super bullish on Bitcoin, I've been super bullish since forever on Bitcoin. So I'm using Bitcoin personally as actually a store value. So as long as, but in the interim, in the meantime, I'm actually expecting a pullback for Bitcoin. Because what Bitcoin normally do from historically, what it normally does is that towards the end of the year, especially the year prior to Bitcoin halving, we normally have this massive pullback by December, January. Pardon me. By December to January, sometimes February. I think we had a pullback in March last year. The last bull in 2020. So between now and February, I'm actually expecting Bitcoin to keep pulling back probably to this area, because what we normally have, like I said, we normally have this correction, before halving, and then after halving we start, some couple of months after halving, then we start a massive, uptrend. All right. So having said that, I feel, since price has been stalling around there, as you can see on daily time frame, and price has been stalling around that $44,600 dollars region. And so I'm expecting further pullback for price. As long as the resistance is not taken out, we might see Bitcoin come to the $37,000 area. If that is taken out, as you can see in the chart, might bounce off around that $37,000, test this trend line around 40,000, then pull back to the downside. All right. But as long as, like I said, if the support holds around 37,000, we might go sideways around there for a while before we continue the upside. But in the long run, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I expect the last price, the last top for Bitcoin in 2021. I expect price to take out this area. That's around 60. I think this is around 69,000 this area. So eventually, price after Bitcoin, I feel like I always say, I've said so many times on this channel, after Bitcoin halving, what we normally have is supply shock, because supply is reduced by half. So what normally happens is that, of course, economics 101, anytime you have a lower supply and demand remains the same, price, soar to the upside. So eventually, I'll be accumulating Bitcoin. I'm even praying that Bitcoin should crash further to the downside, probably to around that 30,000 area, so that I can buy more Bitcoin, and also more on other altcoins, because Bitcoin narrative actually control altcoins, the altcoin market. All right. So I would say that let's move on to EURUSD. So we saw EURUSD, bottom on the 4-hour time frame. This on the daily time frame around there last week. I'm still bullish on EURUSD because I strongly believe that the dollar index should still keep pulling down. So on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we already have something that looks like a string structure between this support. All right, and then that top, this support around 1.07, around this area. Okay, let me take this out. Look at this. All right. So, because we are in an uptrend, I expect if you put out Fibonacci levels, I expect price to pull back, this is actually normal. Price should pull back, further down, probably to around 0.5. That's 50% Fibonacci retracement level. Also, or it can break further down to around 0.618. If you go to the daily time frame, you turn to even if you okay, let's even check the weekly time frame. Let's see how the week ends for EURUSD. You see that what we have is actually we have a bounce from around that support around 1.07, the one I just showed you on the 4-hour time frame. So price actually bounced from there. And then what we had at the close of the week on Friday was just a mere retracement. So what I'll be looking forward to, like I explained on the 4-hour time frame, is actually a pullback. Something that looks like probably a pullback properly into the 50% retracement, Fibonacci retracement level. The one I just showed showed on the between this string structure, between this support and this resistance. I expect a further pullback before before we continue the uptrend, because I see expect price to keep pushing for EURUSD. All right. So I would say that let's check what pounds USD is also like that. See, you can see I've already identified that string structure. There's a string structure between this place and between 1.248 and 1.27. So, and if we check our price also close on the weekly time frame, that was actually bullish. All right. And it's actually, in the buy zone, it's actually price has been pulling back, to the upside. So I also expect price to actually retrace a little bit before we also continue that uptrend. If you go to the 4-hour time frame, you also see that this also looks like a string structure. All right. So I'll actually be looking for on the 4-hour time frame. What I always do is to have my fib between this string structure, and wait. I'll keep waiting. The more price pullback, the better for the better entry you will get. The more price can pull back to the downside, the better entry, as long as the support holds. So I expect price to pull down, then for us to have something that looks like this, and then we continue the uptrend. All right. So that's that for also for pounds USD. So lastly, I quickly want to share with us, with us on US30, right? The Jones Industrial Rate. So I'm actually already in a sell trade. I think I shared in the group. This is actually a very risky trade. And the reason why I took a sell trade is because we had a break of structure for the first time, a break above this resistance for US30. US30 is super, super bullish, but I haven't done this move. I haven't moved this far. It's been bullish since October. And you see, I'm actually on the weekly time frame. So I expect, a lot of profit taking around there for price to pull back to the downside. All right. As you already see that I identified this. So I'll be updating this trade in the Telegram. If you have not joined Telegram, who is free, I'll be dropping the link in the description below. Ensure you join us. All right. We normally share trade calls. Okay. So having said that, make sure if you are not subscribed to this channel, ensure you subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share this video. Okay. And also when you immediately click the subscribe button, ensure you also click the bell beside it so in case anytime I upload video, you can be notified. All right. So I'll be seeing you in the next video. Do have a beautiful, beautiful trading week.